Hello, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for having me here. I'm really excited to be here sharing with everybody. As Raul said, the University for Peace and the Center for Executive Education and VisionWorks have such aligned values and overlapping goals that it really is an exciting partnership for us. And we're really pleased to have the opportunity to share some of what we do with the network that VisionWorks has put together in an area that obviously is quite different than where I am here in Costa Rica or different places that we work and explore from the University for Peace. What I'm hoping to do today is just quickly tell you about who we are and what we do, and then introduce a couple of the overarching programs that we're running as well, with the goal of everybody leaving with at least an overview of what the possibilities are with the Center for Executive Education at the University for Peace. And I would invite anybody who has questions along the way to put them in the comment box, and I'll do my best to look at them. I think we'll have time to at least ask if there are questions at the end as well. So as Raul mentioned, I'm the director of the Center for Executive Education within Upeace, which is actually the United Nations established University for Peace. So maybe I can start off just by telling you what that is. It's a very unique place in this world that I'm lucky enough to be a part of. So first, I just wanted to share with you the mission statement for the University for Peace. I know in the audience there are a bunch of people who work with nonprofits in one way or another and may be familiar with this idea that you put forth your aspirations as an organization in your mission statement. If that's a little small to read, University for Peace it says to provide humanity with an international institution of higher education for peace, with the aim of promoting among all human beings a spirit of understanding, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence, to stimulate cooperation among peoples, and to help lessen obstacles and threats to world peace and progress in keeping with the noble aspirations proclaimed in the Charter of the United Nations. So as you can see, it's a lofty goal. At Upeace here in Costa Rica, we have this mission statement painted up on the wall, and it's, I can honestly say, a reason why a lot of us get out of bed. But yeah, what does that mean? How do we put that into action, and what really is the University for Peace? Well, first of all, it's worth explaining the relationship with the United Nations, because a lot of people say established by, what does that even mean? If you look back to 1980, we were in the height of the Cold War. There was a lot of uncertainty about where the world was going and how it could be shaped for a better future for humanity. And the University for Peace arose out of this uncertainty. It was a partnership between the Costa Rican government, who put forward this idea of having an international institution of higher education working on peace building, but they brought it to the United Nations and asked if they thought this was a good idea and wanted to be a part of it. So the United Nations is the one who basically said, yes, we want to do this. They didn't fund it, but they put their influence behind it. And because of that, we are a treaty organization of the United Nations. So at the very institutional level from which we were born, we are an international organization. And we're not looking just to have influence or impact in Costa Rica or just in Latin America or in one region of the world. We're really aiming to touch as many people as we can. The way the university itself accepts grad students, master's level and doctoral level students from all around the world. And we have small cohorts of students, but that come from all these different nations, and attack peace building, not simply by looking at what is peace and how do we work for peace, but by looking at the diverse causes of conflict in the world and saying, how do we get to the root cause of those? So to start to link this to social innovation, if you're looking at environment, there are a lot of conflicts over competition for scarce resources, for instance. Okay, how do you solve those problems? In the end, it's leading to a more peaceful world, even though you're coming at it from an angle that's more related to environment. So Upeace has this aim to look at all of these different sides of the world's problems and address them at the root by trying to find a more equal, just, and better world for all of us. So within Upeace, I run the Center for Executive Education. Our goal is to broaden the reach of who can work with the university. We have about 15 years of experience now, and the when we were born, if you will, when we started, it was because we realized that not everybody wants to be a master's student, for instance, but that a lot of people were interested in figuring out how to make this world around them a better place. So why do we exist? We have a firm belief that everybody has the capacity to make a difference in the world around them. And there are a lot of ways that can happen. And there are a lot of levels on which that can happen. And everybody has to find their own why and look for their own sphere of influence and their own passions to even know where to begin. So what we're trying to do is help everybody out there understand their strengths and passions and their potential, and then give them the skills, the mindset, the inspiration, all that they need to be able to take that forward and have a positive impact, recognizing that this world around us is so extremely interconnected. And yeah, if anything, if we've learned anything this year from the pandemic, you can't say that a problem is isolated, right? In today's world, we're all one big family, and we need to recognize that as we go forward as well. So that's why we're here. How are we trying to do this? What we do is we offer transformational educational experiences. That's the really short answer. But we focus on a number of themes. And again, this is where we really feel that we align extremely well with VisionWorks and all that is being done in that organization, because we're looking at innovation, creativity, positive psychology. So starting with well-being and understanding what even makes people thrive in the first place. Looking within yourself, empathy, harder skills like negotiation and leadership is important. Education is a huge part, obviously, as an educational institution ourselves. And then another one I put in there, but global citizenship is this idea that we're all in this together and have to understand that somebody on the other side of the world is human and matters just as much as we do. So these transformational experiences are trying to do that. What are they? Basically, we have three sort of branches of what we're doing that could be interesting for the group here today. Number one, we have online courses, and I'll talk a fair amount about those. We have two different diploma programs that can be accessed completely online, which actually we've been doing since about 2008. So while this past year has underscored the need for this in the world, we were in the lucky position of already having a lot of this set up and sort of knowing how to do this. We also offer live virtual workshops. We used to offer a lot of on-site workshops here in Costa Rica, and we are fully planning to start those up again fairly soon. But as one of our innovation pieces in the midst of the pandemic, we adapted those to create online workshops, which you could argue have overlap with the online courses, but they're much more focused on finding ways to have highly interactive face-to-face sessions via Zoom, and have offline learning happen just a little bit aside from that. And then we also offer customized programs. So we work with NGOs, we work with businesses, we work with international organizations like the International Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, and we put together programs based on their needs as well, which could be, built off of some of our regular courses, or it could be something very specific that meets an institutional need for the organization at that time. So I wanted to start off by telling you a little bit about our diploma programs, because they are the most overarching programs that we have. I'll tell you that I'm starting broad, and then I'll go in a little bit, but basically we offer a number of individual courses which can be taken individually, or you can lump them together and get a diploma. What is a diploma? It's a tricky it's a tricky word, right? I actually like in face-to-face interactions, I like throwing that out there and just seeing what people say. But what does it mean to get a diploma? In our particular case, it's not an accredited degree. The point is not to be academic. The point is to build skills and give you a credential that backs the fact that you as a professional are taking the steps you need to either face a problem that you have in your work and your life, or to just build your general profile and make sure that you're ready to confront things in the future. So in our diploma programs, and I'll tell you about them specifically in a moment, you take 5 different courses and you have up to 18 months to complete them. The courses that we offer are 4 to 6 weeks in length, and they happen various times per year, about 3 times per year each, 2 to 3 times per year each. So you put together your own curriculum based on your needs and based on your schedule. Some people do this much more quickly. We say up to 18 months because we don't want people to straggle along for 3 years. Really motivated people with enough time on their hands can get it done in 6 months. The courses are practical. They're about, okay, how am I going to implement tomorrow this thing that I need to learn or that I'm learning about today? So entrepreneurship, education, design thinking, a mix of soft skills and hard skills to put together a pretty full profile. They're all available online, and it's set up to be really flexible. The program is aimed at working professionals. We know that people are busy, they have lives, they have children, they have obligations and other passions as well. So it's made so that you can really build your own program based on your needs. And then finally, one of the most important parts of the program is that much like the university itself, which hosts students from all around the world, we have made a real effort to have students in our online programs from all around the world as well. So a big part of the feedback we get from people who go through the program is about this global classroom and how much you can learn from talking with somebody who is facing a similar challenge to what you're doing, but in a very different context. It can really make you think differently about your own situation as well. So the diplomas themselves, we offer 2. We have a diploma in social innovation and a global leadership diploma. In terms of content, they aren't extremely different, but they're aimed in different directions. So social innovation, if you are working within a social enterprise, if you want to start an NGO, if you are in the corporate world but want to have more impact and think that maybe you want to start a project or a program within your current home, if you will, to do that, social innovation is the way to go. So it's really about getting what you need to run a project, organization, or start something as an entrepreneur. You're looking to, you have some sort of passion or some sort of drive to make a difference in the world, and you're focusing in on how to apply that. Global leadership is more about recognizing that you're part of this world and that you have a role in it where you can have influence and you can be a global leader, but maybe you don't want to start your own thing, or maybe you already have it but what you're more focused on is the leadership side of being able to help yourself, but also those around you, not just your own organization, but everyone around you thrive and excel. So it's really more about learning how to figure out how to help everyone around you excel at what they're doing and truly thrive. So in terms of what these programs are, the big difference between the two is simply the required course. Everybody who does the diploma in social innovation has to take an online course called Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Social Change, through which you actually write a social business plan and get feedback on it from the course facilitators. And if you're doing the Global Leadership Diploma, you have to take a course in the field of leadership. So that's honestly the main distinction. And the why is really about whether you are either in the process of or want to lead an exciting new venture in some way that has a social impact, or if you are looking to improve your strategy as a leader in your current context. Okay, so what do the programs offer? Number one, the programs are set up to be very learner-centered. We don't believe in anybody sitting on a pulpit in front of the room and saying, I have all the information, let me spit it out and you absorb it. We believe strongly that everybody who's in our program has a whole lot to offer and their own challenges, and that we are creating a space and some conversation to move people in the right direction. So it's all about applying it to your situation. There are no lectures, for instance. If there's a content piece, there's a long interactive session afterwards for people to talk and think about how they're going to apply it to their own life and their own situation. We have amazing facilitators, again, from around the globe. And this is actually, I think, one of the high points of our program. The classes tend to be small. We usually, it's rare that a class will have more than about 22 people in it. And so you have a lot of access to these professionals in the field. A couple of them are educators, but for the most part, we looked for people who have lived these things and know how to talk about it and know how to share their experiences and are ready to engage with the students in the class and give them direct feedback on what they're doing and help them meet their challenges. Skills and knowledge is a fairly obvious one. We want you to be able to create the competencies that you need to go forth and make changes in the world. The community I talked about a little bit already, but it is just an amazing aspect of it. We've had people within our program go forward and write a book together, or join each other's board of advisors for different organizations that they're a part of, or collaborate on a project where they seek grant funding to do something together. So really the door is open in terms of seeing where you want to take the community that's in the room with you, but they're all going to be like-minded people. Upeace draws a certain kind of person. And if you're in there, you're probably in there because you're well aligned with the people who are in there as well. Inspiration, we want everybody to come out invigorated. We've been told, especially during the pandemic, a lot of the feedback we've gotten has been about how nice to be in a different kind of environment where everybody's positive and working together, and we're learning and excited. It's just a little breath of fresh air. And then finally, another big one is the credential. Does not hurt at all to be able to put on your resume, on LinkedIn, celebrate where you will, that you have a diploma from the United Nations established University for Peace, Center for Executive Education. And as part of that, I also wanted to just show you sort of what the certificate looks like, because it may be a little small on your screen. I'm sorry if you can't see it well, but the University for Peace logo actually has the United Nations logo in it. So to us, that means a lot. It's not just a small thing. Again, if you saw a mission statement earlier, the point is that we're highly aligned with these values. And if you are as well, it's a great way to be able to show that to the world through the education that you're choosing to pursue. And then finally, I just wanted to share some of the individual courses we have. I don't think I have a lot of time today to go into every single one of these, but I wanted to give you an idea of what's out there to choose between. So as I mentioned at the beginning, all of these can be taken individually. And even in fact, you can take one, and then if you like it and you want to do more, you can pursue a diploma. But a diploma consists of putting together 5 of these courses. So what are the courses on? Upcoming right now in January, we have starting a course on organizational happiness, understanding why organizational happiness matters, and then how you can put a plan in to work on improving it within your own institution or organization. In January, we also have starting a course called Designing Your Life, Innovating from the Inside Out, which is a course that's really about examining yourself and where you want to go, and making a plan to get there. So it's based around the framework of positive psychology, and and what provides well-being in the world, but then it's looking at each one of those aspects and saying in your own life, oh wow, these are where the gaps are, where I'm not meeting what I want, and here are actually some plans and some goals that I can make for myself to make sure I get there. And also in January, we have the course starting Educating and Changing Times, Reflect, Rethink, Rebuild. This one is built for the community of educators, recognizing the fact that so much is changing in the world. Obviously in this past year, but in the past 10 years, in the past 20 years, in the past 50 years. And in fact, in a lot of ways, our classrooms and our schooling systems at higher level education all the way down through primary school are evolving much more slowly. And that is something that we can address. So this class isn't only for formal educators. We have people that are administrators in schools, educators at all levels, but also people that work in informal education, either interact with education through an organization or NGO, or we've had people go through the program who, for instance, who work in museums, so other types of education as well. But it's about understanding systems for innovations, identifying a challenge or a problem that you see in your context, and then coming up with a real plan to move forward and do something about it. And then getting feedback on that from your professors and your colleagues in the course, so that after 4 weeks, you're ready to go out and actually do something. Those are the ones starting in January, but we also have courses in positive leadership. Regenerative leadership is really about putting sustainability into your organization. How can you weave sustainability into the very heart of what you're trying to do? Tackling finance in the social sector is obviously one of the more hard skill ones. Okay, one of the biggest challenges in this world is how do I get the money to do what I want to do? This one helps tackle that. Another sort of hard skill one, Mission Impossible, measuring outcomes and impact, is about monitoring and evaluation. You need to put it together because you have a grant and you need to show that you have an impact. How can you do it? Or even just as on any project you want to be able to show your results, and that helps it. Skills for effective negotiations. Everybody is a negotiator and we use it in all things in our life. So how can you look for win-win situations? Social media for social innovation is really looking at how to use social media when you have a cause at the heart of what you're doing. So not trying to trick people into buying things they don't want, but how do you tell your story? How do you authentically show what you're doing in this world? And then entrepreneurship, innovation, and social change is the required course for the social innovation diploma. And it is about actually building out a business plan, understanding what is a social innovation or social enterprise, and then how can you actually move towards that for yourself. So some people come into that having already started an organization where they want to refine it and go a little deeper, and other people go into that just with a vague concept of what they want to do, and they actually end up writing a business plan for an existing organization as a practice thing because they know at some point they want to have the skills to do that. So those are the individual courses. I think the only one that wasn't on there, we also offer a global education course, but it's the only one that's only offered once per year. So I didn't put it up because it's not until July. And now I welcome any questions. I see there's already one in here. Do you need to have a bachelor's degree to be enrolled in one of the diploma programs? No, you do not. And in fact, we believe a lot in the power of learning at all stages and in all contexts. So we rarely have really young people, but we've definitely had 18, 19-year-olds in our courses. We have one partnership with a university that occasionally puts students in our courses. And then what's interesting is in the program, we have people who are in their late 60s and looking about how to take the end of their career and really make the most of it. So the learning is about you and about what you want to do, and not about academic credentials either that you've had in the past, nor are the courses focused on academics. They're really focused on skills and concepts. We don't read a lot of theory. It's not about academia. It's about let's go do something. So great question. Does anyone else have any questions they'd like to throw out? not, maybe we're all, we can go back to you, and if any more come in, I can address them.
Yes, we'll give just one minute, and if not, we will proceed because I know we are over time a bit.
I guess I should just mention, I think you're going to talk about next steps, but any questions that come up after this webinar, we're extremely happy to address and answer as well.
Yes, I see. We thank you very much, Julia. We actually had a question there about costs. Yes, we can send to you the cost. The costs range between, for the individual courses, between 500 and about 800 or 900 US. But we can certainly discuss how that can be made possible. If you're going through VisionWorks, of course, we have a special 5% discount that you'll want to claim. So we can send some more information on the cost for the various courses and the diploma programs as well to you. Thank you for the question, Elaine.
And if it helps, sorry, just to chime in, we do set up payment plans with people as well. So it's not that you have to have that in hand when you come to the door. We work with people to try to make it work for them as well.
Excellent. How can you get more information? Well, you can check us out online. I think we would have put that up somewhere, www.visionworks.solutions/Upeace. Yes, it's up there on the screen now. So, but we will also send that out to you, and you can reach out to us there as well, or we can make other contact available to you as well, so you can get more direct one-on-one answers to your questions. So what we'll then do is we'll just wrap up. Thank you very much for what you shared, Julia. We at VisionWorks are really excited about this collaboration and bringing these programs to Trinidad and Tobago and the region, in fact. We work with a number of persons in the social impact space and even beyond that, because even in the corporate sense, we have persons in the corporate social responsibility space. And we also have many individuals who just want to make a difference. And certainly, the time you mentioned earlier, the interconnected world. And it's so true, it's so very true. If you think about it, if someone sneezes in China, we catch a cold. And that's exactly what is going on here, you understand? So we have to understand that there is this thing called the cycle and circle of life. So we have to understand our responsibility to impact our space. The world is at that time now where each of us has to take that personal responsibility, whether on an individual level, a relationship level, a family level, a community level, a national, regional, or even global level. We are all global citizens in that way. So thank you very much, Julia, and certainly we'll be hearing more from Julia because we hope to have a lot more of these sessions. So certainly you can tune in to hear more about the offerings at Upeace Center for Executive Education. So in terms of the next steps and some of the things we have coming up, so we want to let you know that coming up soon, we have something called the Caribbean Impact Hub. And the Impact Hub seeks to connect individuals, groups, organizations, and corporate entities who are passionate about creating sustainable impact in their space and sphere of influence through their individual and collective effort. So the idea behind the Impact Hub, which you'll get more information about, is to lift the awareness and importance of impact business, help to share best practices, help to share more information about funding and financing options, where you can build capacity wherever it is needed, and where we can highlight also the efforts that you are making out there. There's so many persons making an excellent effort in their area, and we don't know about it. So we really want to create this hub to capture the work that you're doing and help promote and lift those of us in the social impact space. So remember that our programs and our partnership with the Upeace Center for Executive Education carry a 5% discount. So once you sign up via VisionWorks, so you want to check us out online. Again, I mentioned visionworks.solutions/Upeace, where you can get more information and you can sign up. We also will be sending you a Facebook link so you can also sign up through there as well. But for now, we want to say thank you very much for taking the time, for making this investment, we would say, in your future, in the future of your cause, of your organization. And we know that this will redound to your benefit and the work that you're doing. And you're doing such great work. We are certain of it. As we go, I just want to leave with you that the understanding that the challenges that we face today on a global, regional, and national scale are bigger than any one institution or government can solve. We need all hands on deck. We need everyone focused on making impact a priority. Remember, you are wired to make a difference in your world. You are created to make an impact. So let's impact the world together. So check us out online, and we hope to see you on the inside. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you very much for being a part of our open house. Goodbye.